Hey folks, Brent Matusik here with another Bouzouki lesson. Today we're going to be covering the live version of The Little Drummer by Daoiri Farrell. Let's check it out. Alright, so for The Little Drummer, we're going to need a capo on the first fret. Now one thing to consider is that in the studio version of this piece, Daoiri actually uses his capo on the second fret. He does have a habit, especially during live performances, of playing the songs in different keys, sometimes different from the studio versions. So it is something to consider when you're going through his repertoire. For the purposes of this video though, we are going to use the first fret, and it is standard Bouzouki tuning G, D, A, D. However, in the context of our first fret capo, our tuning notes will be G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and D sharp. The picking pattern that we're going to utilize for this piece is going to be straight alternate picking. So that's to say we're going to be picking down, up, down, up, down, up, constantly alternating between those two directions, regardless of what string we're trying to target. Now this is super common for Daoiri Farrell's repertoire. If you've checked out any of my other videos, you'll have seen this concept many times over. However, in the context of this piece, it is pretty high tempoed, so you're going to want to get very comfortable being able to alternate pick while string skipping. So we're going to do a super basic example just to illustrate that concept and get our hands moving. Let's check it out. Now that we've familiarized ourselves with the picking pattern, let's give the intro riff a shot. One thing to consider while you're practicing this is that every single downstroke that we do is going to be happening on beat, and every upstroke is going to be happening on the offbeat. This is a really good tool that you can use to help internalize the rhythm with the metronome while you're practicing and performing. The other thing to consider as well is as far as the left-hand fingering, we're basically going to assign each of our 4 fingers to be responsible for one individual fret. So that means that our index finger is going to be responsible for the 2nd fret in relation to the capo. 3rd fret's going to be the middle finger, 4th fret the ring finger, and 5th fret the pinky. Now let's give the intro riff a shot at about 60% tempo. Let's give it a try. Another thing to consider while you're practicing this piece is to really make sure that you keep your picking hand relaxed and nice and consistent as far as picking strength between each of the strings. You may notice that as you increase the tempo, there will be a certain point where your picking hand will have this temptation to really tense up. That's exactly what we don't want. We want to keep as relaxed as possible, and this will allow you to play a lot more fluidly and indeed sound more fluid. With this in mind, let's give this piece a shot at full speed, 200 beats per minute. Let's check it out. I hope you guys found that lesson informative. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for the other parts where we'll cover the verse and the bridges of this piece. Take care.